Welcome to my channel, Valuable Coins All World. If you've ever wondered if those old coins you have lying around could be worth a fortune, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into some of the rarest US coins, revealing their jaw-dropping values that will leave you amazed. Stick with us till the end. You won't want to miss what these hidden treasures could be worth. Let's get started. Top 1. In the world of numismatics, every coin tells a story, but some stories are so captivating that they leave even the most seasoned collectors in awe. Today, we dive deep into the legacy, mystery, and hidden fortune of one unassuming coin, the 1964 Jefferson nickel, minted without a mint mark. While it may seem like just another piece of everyday currency to most, beneath its silver sheen lies a tale of error, history, and an unbelievable value of $125,000 at first glance. This coin might appear identical to the countless nickels that passed through the hands of millions of Americans during the 1960s. Small, round, and silver in color, it features the iconic image of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, facing left on the obverse. On the reverse, the coin proudly displays Jefferson's historic home, Monticello, a symbol of architectural beauty and American heritage. However, the true rarity of this 1964 Jefferson nickel lies not in its design, but in its composition. You see, the standard composition for most nickels is 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving them that recognizable dull silver tone and durability. But this particular 1964 version was struck in a unique metallic blend known as billion, a composition that includes 56% copper, 36% silver, and 9% manganese. This alloy was never intended for wide release in the Jefferson nickel series, making any example of a billion-struck 1964 nickel an extraordinary find. How could this happen? Experts believe that the use of billion in this coin was the result of a highly unusual error at the mint, possibly involving experimental planchets or leftover blanks from another project. In some cases, it's speculated that these planchets were originally intended for foreign coins or test runs and accidentally made their way into Jefferson nickel production lines. Regardless of the cause, what resulted was an accidental masterpiece, a nickel not meant to exist, yet now commanding the attention of collectors around the world. But rarity alone doesn't explain the skyrocketing value. To truly appreciate why this coin can be worth more than a luxury car or even a home, we need to understand the role condition and provenance play. High-grade examples, especially those with minimal wear, strong strikes, and that unmistakable billion luster, are incredibly scarce. When these coins appear at auction or in private collections, they often become the centerpiece of intense bidding wars. One particularly pristine specimen, authenticated and graded by a top certification authority, stunned the collecting community when it sold for an incredible $125,000. The silver content also plays a role. Though the amount of silver isn't overwhelming, it's enough to give the coin a distinctive appearance and metallic resonance. When dropped, a billion Jefferson nickel might even sound slightly different than its common counterparts. Its unique weight distribution and feel also catch the trained eye and hand of experienced collectors. Beyond its financial value, this coin also represents a fascinating moment in U.S. mint history. The year 1964 was a period of major transition for American coinage. The nation was dealing with the rising cost of silver and debating its use in circulating coins. Just 1 year later, in 1965, the U.S. Mint would remove silver from most dimes and quarters, signaling the end of an era. That makes the appearance of a silver-containing nickel from 1964 not just curious, but symbolically important. It marks the very edge of a shift, a relic from the last breath of silver in regular coinage. For the average person, it might be hard to believe that a 5-cent coin could be worth over $100,000. But this is the magic of coin collecting, the blending of history, rarity, and human error to create items that are far more valuable than their face value suggests. This is what makes coins like the 1964 billion Jefferson nickel so cherished and so unforgettable. If you have a jar of old coins tucked away in a drawer or a collection passed down through your family, it's worth taking a closer look. Examine your 1964 nickels. Are there any that look slightly off in tone? Do they weigh differently? Feel heavier or more polished? It's those subtle clues that can lead to life-changing discoveries. And with professional grading and authentication, you could find yourself in possession of a true treasure. This is not just a story about a rare coin. It's a story about the thrill of discovery. It's about the possibility that something small, overlooked, and ordinary might actually hold unimaginable value. It reminds us that even in the realm of pocket change, miracles happen. The 1964 Jefferson nickel, struck in Billon and void of a mint mark, stands as one of those miraculous finds, a silver sliver of American history, glimmering with mystery and worth a staggering $125,000. Top 2. In the captivating world of coin collecting, sometimes the smallest coins hold the biggest secrets and the biggest value. One such coin that has turned heads and sparked debates among numismatists is the 1975 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark. At first glance, it might seem like just another 5-cent piece, tossed in change, passed over at the counter. But this specific coin, with its unique composition and mysterious features, has been valued as high as $95,000. Yes, you heard that right. $95,000 for a nickel dot. Let's begin with the basics that make this coin stand out from the millions of other nickels minted in 1975. This particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the bold D mint mark. The coin retains the classic Jefferson design on the obverse, the dignified profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and the author of the Declaration of Independence. On the reverse, his architectural masterpiece, Monticello, with its clean lines and classic domed roof. A design that is simple, iconic, and deeply American. But it's not the design that makes this coin special, it's what lies beneath the surface. Unlike standard nickels, which are typically composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, this 1975 Jefferson nickel was struck using a highly unusual alloy called Billon. Now here's where it gets truly fascinating. Billon is a composition that includes 56% copper, 36% silver, and 9% manganese. The presence of silver in a coin that was never meant to contain silver makes it a true anomaly. Silver was officially removed from U.S. dimes and quarters a decade earlier, in 1965, and nickels had not been struck with silver since the wartime issues between 1942 and 1945. So how did this 1975 D nickel end up with silver in it? That question still puzzles even seasoned collectors and numismatic experts. The most accepted theory is that these coins were struck on leftover experimental or foreign planchets, blanks that were never intended to be used for U.S. nickels. Some even speculate they may have been produced during test runs using obsolete planchets or misfed strips of metal during the striking process. Whatever the cause, what we know for certain is this: the result is a coin unlike any other. A silver-colored nickel with both the weight and the ring of authenticity that only genuine heirs can carry. In hand, the coin feels slightly different from an ordinary nickel. It has a subtle shine, a cooler surface, and when dropped, it produces a higher-pitched ring. These are the small indicators collectors look for, and they can be the difference between pocket change and a jackpot. What makes the 1975 D Jefferson nickel even more desirable is its extreme rarity. There are only a handful of confirmed examples and private collections are known through grading agencies. Coins in mint state, that is, coins that show no signs of wear and have retained their original luster, are even rarer. When one of these pristine examples surfaced at auction, authenticated and certified by one of the major grading services, it shocked the collector community by fetching an incredible $95,000. This coin is a symbol of just how unpredictable and thrilling coin collecting can be. A 5-cent piece, a coin so ordinary that most people wouldn't even glance at it twice, turned out to be worth more than many people's annual salary. It's a reminder that every coin has a story, and some of those stories are written in mystery, rarity, and fortune. So how can you tell if you've got a 1975 D Jefferson nickel worth of fortune sitting in your own collection? The key lies in paying attention to the small details. First, check the weight. It should come in around 5 grams, but subtle differences can point to composition variations. Then, observe the color. A normal nickel will have a dull silver-gray tone, while a silver-bearing nickel like this will have a brighter, shinier appearance. And finally, listen to the sound. The ring of a silver coin is distinct. If your coin has any of these indicators, it may be worth getting it professionally graded. Many collectors and even everyday people have struck it rich simply by inspecting their old coin jars, estate finds, or inherited collections. This particular Jefferson nickel from 1975 is living proof that treasures still exist in the most unexpected places. It's not just about money, it's about the thrill of discovery, the link to history, and the joy of uncovering something extraordinary in the ordinary. In a time when digital currency is taking over and physical coins seem to be losing relevance, stories like this breathe new life into the hobby. They remind us that every coin is a little piece of history, and sometimes it's the quirks, the errors, and the anomalies that make those pieces shine the brightest. The 1975 Jefferson nickel, minted in Denver, composed of billion, and valued at an astounding $95,000, is not just a coin, it's a legend. One that continues to inspire collectors, reward the curious, and prove that in the world of coins, anything is possible. Top 3. In the world of coin collecting, it's often the most unassuming coins that hide the most incredible secrets. Among the countless 5-cent pieces minted by the United States over the decades, one coin in particular has sparked fascination and curiosity among collectors: the 1989 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark. Though this small coin might look like any other nickel passing through your hands in daily change, some rare examples possess hidden traits that have shocked numismatists and delighted lucky finders. One such coin, with unexpected composition and a hint of mystery, has recently been valued at a jaw-dropping $65,000. Let's explore what makes this 1989 Jefferson nickel so fascinating. At first glance, the coin features the familiar image of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, his distinguished profile, sharp lines, and serious gaze staring to the left. On the reverse side, we find the image of his iconic home, Monticello, neatly engraved with stunning architectural detail. The design is traditional, and the finish is a silver gray that appears ordinary to the untrained eye. But it's beneath the surface where the true magic lies. Most 1989 nickels were struck with a standard copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel, the same composition used in nickels since 1866, with the exception of the wartime nickels during World War II. However, a small number of 1989 Jefferson nickels with the P mint mark, minted at the Philadelphia Mint, were mistakenly or experimentally struck using a rare and unexpected composition, billion. This unique metallic alloy is made up of 56% copper, 36% silver, and 9% manganese. The inclusion of silver, especially in the late 1980s, is extraordinarily rare and sets this coin apart as an extreme anomaly. Silver had not been a regular part of the U.S. 5-cent coinage since 1945, and its sudden appearance in a 1989 nickel is puzzling. Some experts believe this could be the result of leftover experimental blanks or planchets from a foreign coinage contract accidentally used in U.S. production. Others suspect it may have been a test strike, never intended to circulate, that somehow found its way into public hands. Whatever the cause, these silver-bearing nickels are incredibly rare and incredibly valuable. What makes these coins even more desirable is their physical feel and acoustic properties. At 5 grams, the weight is consistent with normal nickels, but coins struck in billion exhibit a slightly brighter color and a distinctive ring when dropped, a soft chime more associated with silver than base metals. This unusual tonal signature is often the first clue for collectors that they've stumbled onto something special. To this day, only a few authenticated examples of the 1989 Jefferson nickel struck in billion have surfaced. When one appeared at a rare coin auction graded by a leading authentication service and in pristine mint state condition, it stunned the audience with a final sale price of $65,000. For a nickel. That's the kind of story that keeps treasure hunters searching, collectors obsessing, and historians digging deeper into America's minting past. Now let's talk about what you should look for if you think you might have one of these rare coins in your pocket or collection. Begin by closely examining the date and mint mark. You'll want to see 1989, with a clear P located to the right of Jefferson's bust. Then, observe the coin's surface under a strong light. Does it appear more lustrous or shinier than your typical nickel? Does it sound slightly different when tapped or dropped gently on a solid surface? These little clues can mean a big difference. Of course, to be absolutely certain, it's best to consult a professional coin grading service who can analyze the metal composition and assign a certification of authenticity and value. Stories like this serve as a powerful reminder of the hidden treasures that exist right under our noses. While many people toss their spare change into jars, vending machines, or tip jars without a second thought, collectors know that every coin has the potential to be a jackpot. The 1989 Jefferson nickel with its mysterious billion composition proves that the most valuable finds are often hiding in plain sight. Coins like this also remind us of the human element in minting, that even in high-tech, precision-driven facilities like the Philadelphia Mint, errors can occur, experiments can go awry, and surprises can slip through the cracks. And those surprises are what make numismatics not just a hobby, but a thrilling adventure. So if you've got a few old nickels lying around, especially from the late 1980s, now might be the perfect time to give them a closer look. That seemingly ordinary coin could be a piece of American history, and it could be worth more than a luxury car. The Jefferson nickel from 1989, with the rare P mint mark and billing composition, continues to astonish collectors and prove that the value of a coin lies far beyond its face value. And in this extraordinary case, that value is $65,000, written in words. Top 4. In the fascinating world of numismatics, sometimes the most unexpected treasures lie hidden within the most ordinary of coins. And few examples illustrate this better than the Jefferson nickel, specifically the rare and extraordinary 1990 Jefferson nickel bearing the P mint mark. At first glance, this 5-cent piece may seem like just another coin casually tossed into a change jar or slipped into a vending machine. But the truth is, this simple nickel has become the center of attention among collectors and coin enthusiasts, thanks to a very unusual feature and a truly surprising value that reaches a stunning $60,000. Let's begin with the familiar. The obverse of the Jefferson nickel, first introduced in 1938, proudly features a side-profile portrait of the third President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson. His gaze is strong, and his hair tied back in the classic 18th century style. The reverse features the stately Monticello, Jefferson's architectural masterpiece and beloved Virginia estate, engraved with precise lines and symmetry that gives the design both dignity and historic character. But what makes the 1990 Jefferson nickel so captivating is not its artwork or its long-standing design, but the material that lies just beneath its surface. While most nickels minted in the United States are composed of a copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel, this particular variety of the 1990 P Jefferson nickel is made of something far more unusual, bilin. This alloy contains 56% copper, 36% silver, and 9% manganese, a combination that gives the coin a distinct metallic appearance and a significantly different value. Bilin was historically used in medieval and early modern Europe, often for lower-value silver coins. So how did it end up in a Jefferson nickel from 1990? That's where the mystery deepens and the excitement begins. It's believed that only a very small number of these 1990 Jefferson nickels were struck using leftover or experimental planchets, blank coin discs made of bilin. These may have been created for a foreign minting contract or a secret trial run at the Philadelphia Mint, where the P mark indicates it was struck. Regardless of how it happened, these nickels should never have entered circulation, and yet, a few managed to escape into the hands of the public, turning into rare collectibles that are now worth a small fortune. One of the biggest clues that a 1990 Jefferson nickel might be special is the color and shine. The bilin composition gives off a unique silver-gray hue that looks noticeably brighter than the standard alloy. The coin also emits a distinct ringing tone when dropped on a hard surface, a faint musical sound more in line with silver coins than the dull clunk of a typical nickel. This difference in tone is often the first signal that a collector might be holding something remarkable. Additionally, this rare coin maintains the standard physical characteristics of a regular nickel, a weight of 5 grams, a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.95 millimeters. Its round shape and reeded edge might not raise any suspicions. But once analyzed under proper lighting or metal testing equipment, the secret of its unusual composition becomes clear, because so few of these bilin-composed Jefferson nickels from 1990 have ever been confirmed. Their rarity skyrockets their value. The coin's unexpected silver content, combined with the historic curiosity of its existence, has captured the imaginations of professional graders, investors, and everyday collectors alike. One example, certified by a leading coin grading service and preserved in near-mint condition, shocked the coin collecting community when it sold for an astounding $60,000, written in words, at a private auction.so. How can someone tell if they might be in possession of such a valuable piece? First, look for the date, 1990, and ensure the coin has a clear and distinct P mint mark located to the right of Jefferson's portrait. Second, examine the overall condition and luster. If the coin looks unusually bright or silvery in tone, it may be a bilin-struck piece. Finally, to confirm the metal composition, a non-invasive test like an XRF scan at a reputable coin dealer or grading service will determine whether the coin is indeed made of bilin or not. This specific Jefferson nickel teaches us something invaluable, that even in the modern minting era, anomalies can occur, secrets can be embedded into common currency, and treasure can be hiding in plain sight. The thrill of discovering a valuable coin isn't reserved for museums or legendary treasure hunters. It could happen to anyone. Maybe in a roll of nickels from the bank or a coin dropped into a tip jar lies a small fortune waiting to be uncovered. The 1990 Jefferson nickel with the P. Mint mark and its rare bill and composition stands as a remarkable reminder that the U.S. Mint's history is full of surprises and that the spirit of adventure still lives on in the art of coin collecting. So next time you come across a nickel from 1990, don't pass it by without a second look. It could be worth far more than 5 cents. It might just be a rare treasure worth $60,000. Top 5. In the fascinating world of rare coins, one of the most surprising and intriguing stories revolves around the Jefferson nickel, a coin we see and use every day, yet sometimes it holds secrets that turn it into a fortune. Today, let's take a deep dive into a unique and mysterious treasure from American coinage history, the 1994 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark, believed to have been struck on a bill and planchet, a metal mixture containing silver. This coin, with its standard 5-cent face value, has astounded collectors by reaching a jaw-dropping value of $45,000. Now imagine for a moment, you're holding a nickel. It's small, round, and feels no different from the rest. But what if I told you that the coin in your hand might not just be made of the usual copper-nickel composition? What if its inner structure included precious silver? That is the exact mystery behind the 1994 Jefferson nickel that has captured the attention of numismatists across the nation. Let's start by understanding the basics. This coin was minted in the United States in 1994 and bears the D mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Denver Mint. It features the classic Jefferson nickel design introduced in 1938. The obverse side displays a strong profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third U.S. president, his gaze directed leftward. The reverse showcases Monticello, Jefferson's neoclassical plantation home in Virginia, with its domed roof and elegant structure. Both sides appear standard at first glance, until you dig deeper into what this particular version is made of. Unlike ordinary nickels that are composed of a copper-nickel alloy, this rare 1994 variety is believed to have been mistakenly struck on a leftover or experimental planchet made of billin. Billin is an ancient alloy, consisting of 56% copper, 36% silver, and 9% manganese, once used in various historical coinages around the world. It is not the metal one expects to find in a 1990s American nickel. And yet, this extraordinary mix found its way into circulation, likely through a minting error or experimental phase gone unnoticed. When viewed under proper lighting, the billin composition gives the coin a slightly different shimmer. While not pure silver in appearance, it has a brighter, colder tone compared to regular nickels. Collectors have described the sound of the coin when dropped as more ringing than clinking, a small but telling clue. At 5 grams in weight, 21.2 millimeters in diameter, and 1.95 millimeters in thickness, the coin fits the standard Jefferson nickel profile. But the secret lies in its content, silver mixed with copper and manganese, giving it an unexpected intrinsic value. The million-dollar question remains, how did a silver alloy planchet end up being used to strike a 1994 nickel? The answer is both mysterious and thrilling. Some believe these were leftover experimental blanks from an unannounced trial production. Others suggest they may have been planchets intended for foreign contract coins accidentally fed into the nickel striking machines at the Denver Mint. Regardless of how it happened, the result was the creation of a truly rare and captivating coin, one that collectors hunt for even today. Finding one of these nickels in the wild is beyond rare, but it's not impossible. Several have surfaced in private collections or small auctions, most of them discovered purely by chance. One lucky individual, for instance, found a suspiciously shiny nickel in their change and submitted it for testing. After authentication by a respected third-party grading company, it was confirmed to be a silver alloy Jefferson nickel, an error coin of monumental rarity. This example, in nearly uncirculated condition, sold for an eye-watering $45,000, written out in full, to a collector who recognized its historic and monetary significance. And the value doesn't stop there. Depending on condition, strike quality, and silver content confirmation, similar examples could reach even higher prices in the future as demand grows and availability remains nearly non-existent. If you're a coin enthusiast, or even just someone who likes to keep their eyes open for valuable finds, here's what to watch for. Look for the 1994 date and the D mint mark. Examine the coin's surface color and shine. Billin will stand out with its subtle silvery tone. And listen to the sound it makes when tapped or dropped. It should ring more than it clinks. For full confirmation, have the coin tested for metal content using non-invasive techniques like XRF scanning. The 1994 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark and billing composition is a numismatic wonder, a mistake, a mystery, and a marvel all rolled into one small, 5-cent piece. It's a reminder that treasures don't always come in gold bars or gemstone-studded cases. Sometimes, they show up in your pocket change, hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone curious enough to look closer. So next time you're handed a nickel, take a moment before you toss it aside, because you just might be holding a fortune, a humble coin worth $45,000.